So to start day one, we checked into our hotel, which was the Delphi in downtown LA. Now, unlike most cities, downtown is definitely not the highlight of LA. It's kind of grubby, pretty empty, but there are some fun things to do. The last bookstore is a cool fairy tale-esque bookshop in the heart of downtown. It's got lots of hidden rooms and areas, and if you're a book lover, it'd be a great place. There's also a record shop within the shop, so there's something for music lovers as well. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. After that, we made our way to Grand Central Market, which is a huge food court, and it's got everything like Mexican, Asian sandwiches and sweets. It's got everything you want, so you can definitely spend a while there and have some lunch. Couldn't get any footage of this next bit, but we stopped in the Bradbury building, which is a really famous building where a few movies have been shot, and then we went on to the Museum of Contemporary Art. I think the best thing about everything we've done so far is that it's all free, so you don't have to spend much money getting around. We started off day 2 with the Warner Brothers studio tour, which is about an hour away from downtown in Burbank. The tour itself costs about $70, which is kind of expensive, but if you're into, DC, Harry Potter, Friends, The Big Bang Theory, it has all those sets and props and everything, so it's definitely worth the visit. Then we made our way to one of the most iconic but most touristy spots in LA, and that is the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's everything we thought it would be, really busy, kind of tacky, but fun for a little while. We weren't hassled by Spider-Man or Elvis for a photo, but it's not a place you'd want to spend more than an hour or two walking up and down. We ended the second day by going to the famous Comedy Store. It was a Monday night, so there weren't any big comedians there, but look, it was $5 in and it was still a good laugh. We found this cool activity on Airbnb where you can go to a hike on Runyon Canyon with rescue dogs. So it's about $35 US per person, and all the money goes straight back to the rescue shelter, so it makes the hike a little more fun. Up next was Beverly Hills, and this is definitely the most bougie, rich part of the city. Everything was white and clean and pristine. And it was home to one of the most famous roads, Rodeo Drive. For me, Rodeo Drive just wasn't that interesting. It's just loads of designer shops, one after another. It takes about 10 minutes to walk up and down. Maybe it's just because we're a couple of brokies, but I just don't get the point in spending all that money on pointless things like that. But look, it's something to tick off the bucket list. We ended day 3 by going to Santa Monica Pier, which is about 45 minutes from LA on public transport. This was a really chilled area and definitely more our speed. Once once you walk up and down Santa Monica Pier and see everything it has to offer there, you can make your way down to Venice Beach, which is about a half an hour walk. Venice has the famous canals, obviously the bodybuilder beach. We didn't see any bodybuilders, but there was loads of skaters out, and the beach itself was just quintessentially LA. If you're in LA for longer than a few days, I definitely recommend taking a trip down to Anaheim to Disneyland, which is about 2 hours on public transport from LA. There are 2 parks in Disneyland, so there's the original Disney and then the newer Disney California Adventure Park, which is the one we went to. It still has that Disney feel, but it's a lot newer and I think a lot less busy than the original park. It had a lot of Marvel themed rides, Pixar, Cars Land, and all the overpriced candy apples that you could ask for. At the end of every night there's a water show in Disney. It goes on for about half an hour and it projects scenes from all Disney movies over the last 100 years. So we stayed over in Anaheim that night, and on day 5 we made our way back to LA and went to the California Science Center. It was good, it's free in, but I'd say it's mostly for kids and teens. Then we headed back to downtown LA because we had a booking for a Keith Haring exhibit at the Broad Museum. Most museums in LA have one free night a week to all the special exhibits, and some museums are just free in all the time. Day 6 was our last day in LA, and we wanted to hike up to the Hollywood sign. And I say hike, it was really just like an uphill walk. It was really easy. Beginner hikers could do it. You won't be out of breath. You can get pretty close to the sign, but if you want to get really up close, I think the hike is a little tougher around the back of the Hollywood sign. We ended that day before our flight just stopping in the original farmers market in LA and went to the Grove shopping center kind of area. Okay, so general tip number 1. You heard me say public transport a lot in this video, and we didn't rent a car when we went to LA. That was a big thing we wanted to decide. We heard lots of people tell us to rent a car, it's much easier to get around, which is probably true, but you can definitely manage it on public transport. It's a lot cheaper, you just kind of have to balance. Yes, it takes longer, but with a car you have to worry about parking, LA traffic, crazy drivers, things we just didn't want to worry about. So we were willing to spend that extra half hour on the bus or on the metro to get around the place. For getting public transport, you can download the TAP app, which means you can just add money onto this app and you can pay for public transport that way. It saves you getting a physical travel card for the week. Tip number 2 is kind of obvious, but it gets really hot in LA. We went in the middle of July, so it got up to like 35 degrees, especially in Disney where there isn't that much cover. You're standing out and it just gets hot, so bring water, a fan, and some good walking shoes. Tip 3 I think is probably the most important, is just plan your day. Like I said, LA is so big and all the different things are in different areas, and the things you want to see might be going west and then back up north and then back west, so you don't want to spend unnecessary money or time on travel. So just really plan your route so you know what you're doing for the whole day. And the last tip is the food scene. There's a great food scene in LA, kind of a Mexican influence, but a lot of different cultures. And if you want to see what we ate throughout our 1-week trip in LA, you can click on this video. So LA, that was our 6-day trip. I definitely liked it more than San Francisco. A bit more to do and it was a bit bigger. So comment down below if there's any tips you want to give to people traveling to LA, or if there's anything you recommend doing that I didn't say in this video.
Peace.